Talks of the Mavericks making a move have been swirling since the moment Nico Harrison was fired. On Wednesday, Kyrie Irving was at Mavericks shoot-around, putting up half-court shots with the Mavs teammates there. Kyrie has not played since recovering from a torn ACL. Shams, you reported yesterday the Mavs are answering calls about AD, but what is the approach about Kyrie?
So, George, teams are actually sniffing around Kyrie Irving, his availability on the court, potentially trade-wise, and his playing status the rest of the season. But my understanding is the Mavericks have made it clear privately that they want Kyrie Irving as a complete part of their future moving forward. He's still in recovery and rehab from that ACL tear from March. He signed a 3-year deal in the offseason, but the Mavericks value his leadership on the court, off the court, and his fit with Cooper Flagg, too, potentially. Cooper Flagg's going to need a point guard whenever he's ready to be back out on the court. And you just see right now how much this team misses Kyrie Irving, some of these close games that they've had. And that's the difference, though, between the Kyrie Irving situation and the Anthony Davis situation. Listening to potential trade calls on Anthony Davis, but with Kyrie Irving, they want him a part of their future moving forward.
Yeah, listen, I was there last night for that game. It was wild. I thought Brandon Williams was going to end up tying that game and send it to overtime, and he did not, unfortunately.
I'm just a little confused, right? I believe Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis are about the same age. Yeah. So I'm not understanding. You want Kyrie, but you don't want Anthony Davis. And we have yet to see both of those guys even touch the floor together in the Mavs uniform. Just a bit confusing to me, Shams. That's all.
Yeah. I don't think you're the only one that's confused. But I like Kyrie. I mean, we all like Kyrie. Yeah. We know what he's capable of, what he can do. Pairing him with Cooper Flagg, they're not on the same timetable, but I could see him sticking around long enough to help Cooper Flagg groom and get settled in. But they need to find ways to get some more youth around them. And if you want to keep one vet, Kai's a good one to keep.
Yeah. And look, as I mentioned, I was in Dallas yesterday, guys. Well, listen, I have been everywhere. It's the Wild Wild West in the NBA as the top teams in the league in point differential are all in the Western Conference. The Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Rockets are all outscoring their opponents by over 11 points a night. And that trio was all in action on Wednesday. The champion Thunder improved to 15-1 on the season behind SGA's 33 points against the Kings. And he once said his whole life is consistent, and so are the Thunder by winning by big numbers. Then Nikola Jokic led the Nuggets to a win over the reeling Pelicans despite Derek Queen's 30 points and Zion and his return. Jokic notched another triple-double. Peyton Watson had a career at 32 and helped Denver secure the dub. And the Rockets stumped the Cavs behind Alperen Sengun and Kevin Durant, Houston's newest dynamic duo, combined for 48 points and gave the Rockets their 5th straight win, which is tied for the longest streak this season. Here's Sengun after the game.
I mean, I never back down on anybody. You know, that doesn't matter to having anybody. Best defender in the league, so it's a clutch time. I'm just going to go through him. I'm just going to get my shot, you know, and just to finish the game.
All right, Perk, what are your thoughts on the top teams in the West?
Well, I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the funeral arrangements. I didn't know LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves. I didn't know the Lakers passed away. Y'all didn't tell me that. I didn't know they died. Why wasn't they on that graphic? That's the problem I have. You definitely got to put them up in there. 11-4 record. And when you watch the Lakers play, yes, you're getting MVP numbers from Luka Doncic. Yes, you're getting all NBA play from Austin Reeves. But damn it, it's the others. It's Rui Hachimura that's having a hell of a season right now. It's the return of LeBron James that's going to help. We know that J.J. Redick is a hell of a coach when it comes to offensive schemes. Defensively is where they're going to that they need LeBron James the most. That high IQ, that voice on the back line. So I'm looking at the Lakers, and they're a top 4 team in the Western Conference.
I don't disagree. I mean, I put Golden State kind of right on the outside when healthy because they have the experience. They do have winners. There's a class that's right behind OKC and Denver. But to say that these guys are near them, I don't think it's even close.
Who?
Oh, Houston. They said Houston is close to OKC or, like, in the top tier with them. Nah.
You don't believe that to be the case?
I don't see it.
Danny, DG, come on now. Like, think about this for a second. OKC put a spanking on Golden State about a week ago. They had Draymond calling out his teammates, right? They embarrassed the Lakers, right? Opening night, they didn't do that to the Houston Rockets. It took a double overtime win for them to even get to that point. Now, look, OKC should be the clear-cut favorite the way that they're balling, led by SGA, and they're not even healthy. But when I look at the Rockets and you look at the rest of those teams, the Rockets are right in the thick of things.
Yeah, I do like how they're playing. I was wrong about them. With the injury of Fred VanVleet, I didn't think they'd be this good this early. But they're showing me some things. Again, OKC's in a class of their own, bro. There's nobody even close to them. Houston is making a case, but when it comes down to the playoffs, you need a steady point guard. You need somebody to set the table. And right now, they're developing Reed Shepherd, but I'm just not sure he's there or going to be there at that time.
Well, there was a team that took them to a 7th game, and then Aaron Gordon got hurt, and that changed kind of the dynamics of that potential series, Shams. What's different about those Denver Nuggets?
George, so it's interesting you say the name Aaron Gordon. So yesterday, before the game, there was soreness that he reports. And so the Nuggets have the luxury right now to sit him in a game. And last season, they just did not have that. There were serious issues with the depth on the Denver Nuggets. And so they sit Aaron Gordon. They allow him to have rest. There's full optimism. He will be a go in Friday's Cup game in Houston. But now you have Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, Bruce Brown Jr., Cam Johnson. He's going to hopefully turn his game up for the Denver Nuggets. They're able to play the young guys more as well. Guys like Peyton Watson, rely on them. So the depth to me is a big thing. And then Jamal Murray. He's playing. We talk about Jamal Murray's never been an all-star. He's averaging career high 22.5 points per game. He's healthy. He's been more vocal than ever, from my understanding, within that Nuggets organization. He's on that all-star trajectory this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question.
What conference?
Well, he's going to be one of the part of the world team.
U.S., remember.
All I'm saying is 22 points don't get you an all-star game no more.
If you're
a top 2-3 seed.
But
they're not going to be that number
They're not going to be the number 1 seed, and they have too many guys. They have too many guys that are averaging too many points in the West.
And I make a case for Aaron Gordon, honestly, this year on that Denver Nuggets team of being an all-star. Shooting at a high clip of 40-something, 6% from 3. He's having a career year.
We'll see. Let's get back to the Rockets here, led by Kevin Durant, who has gotten the headlines. But Alperen Sengun is playing at an elite level. The 23-year-old is the first Rockets player ever with 25 points, 10 boards, and 5 dimes in 3 straight games. Not Akeem, not Barkley, not Harden, but Sengun.
Wow.
Burke. Take it.
Oh, hello, digital world. Feet finally on the wood. Here we are. We got the number 1 offensive team in the league, the Houston Rockets. And let me show you a big reason why on this clip, why they're the number 1 offensive team. Freeze! It's because it's baby Jokic, Alperen Sengun. He has a mismatch right here on Donovan Mitchell. Now, I want you to pause it for a second. Leave it there because there's a lot going on right here. You have Evan Mobley, who's doing what he's supposed to do, using his 2-9 because he sees the mismatch. The only problem is it opens up a 2-on-1 for Steven Adams and Amon Thompson on the opposite side, right? Which is Wade now has to guard 2 people. Run it. You have Alperen Sengun. He's starting his crab dribble like he does best. Evan Mobley comes to clear himself. Steven Adams frees it. Does an excellent job of occupying Wade so that it frees up Amon Thompson to have the double flood, which he flashes to the dots and get this wide open pass from Alperen Sengun for the nice floater over Evan Mobley, and he knocks it down for 2 points. Now, this was the most important, most impressive possession of last night's games for the Houston Rockets, okay? You have this action going on. No Alperen Sengun is on the floor at the moment. It's a little bit over 5 minutes left to go in the game. It's a 3-point game. Now, freeze it. I want you to look at everything that's going on with the Rockets. You have a shooter in Aaron Holiday that's on that strong side corner. You have a shooter that's in this weak side corner in Jabari Smith. And then you have the veteran, Steven Adams, holding the dunker spot, and he's pointing and telling Amon Thompson, no, you be the screener. So it catches the Cavs off guard. Run it. All of a sudden, you see Amon Thompson comes and set a hell of a screen for Kevin Durant. He's one of the most athletic players in the game. Great dynamic role, great pass, and we see him take off from the dots, finish over 7-foot Jared Allen for the 2-point make, which put them up by 5, and all of a sudden we see the Rockets clicking on all cylinders. And not only that, that moment was one of the moments that pissed Kenny Atkinson off, is why we hear the sound that we're about to hear from him right now.
Before we get to the Cavs, Digital Perk He's looking good.
He's looking real good.
A little small, right? You should be taller.
Should've been taller.
You know, look, less is better. For me, less is better.
Well, Perk, I don't know if less is better with the Cavs at this point because you've been critical of them in the past. Why do they continue to have the same issues?
Well, I mean, they had a coach that was trying to give them identity. And J.B. Bickerstaff, they didn't want that. They didn't want the accountability. They didn't want a guy to come in and ruffle the feathers. We see what J.B. Bickerstaff doing with the Detroit Pistons right now. We don't question their identity. They're the only team in the Eastern Conference that have an identity. And what bothered me the most, DG, Shams, George, is that it's nowhere in hell last night that you walk into that game and let the Houston Rockets do what they do best.
Yeah.
Steven Adams is 6th all-time in rebounds per game in NBA history. They dominated them on the glass. They dominated them in the paint. And there's zero excuses because you have Evan Mobley, who is the reigning defensive player of the year. You have Jared Allen. You have 2 Twin Towers that are available. But the only reason that they're not getting it done is because they're soft. They're creamy in the middle.
It sounds like more of a character roster issue than it does a coaching issue.
Oh.
I was there when we had J.B. Bickerstaff. I think he's a really good coach. I don't know if he was the coach for that group. A coaching change needed to happen. I love what he's doing in Detroit. They're doing some great things, but I don't know if he was prepared for the experience in the playoffs. You know, that was one thing that we're concerned about him lacking. But the main thing you bring up is toughness. They've been lacking that for the last 2 or 3 years, and they've been known to, even though they have the size with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they've been known to be bullied. They got bullied in the New York Knicks series. Every time they play Mitchell Robinson, they can't rebound. With the size you have, you should be able to rebound. And for them to get out-rebounded 51-39 is inexcusable. I know they're talking about trades. They're talking about Darius Garland, and they have had injuries, so I give them a little bit of grace. But ultimately, it comes down to toughness. Like you said, mental toughness, physical toughness, and not being bullied by the team. So they got to find a way to get some dogs or bring some dog out of those guys.
Danny, you mentioned injuries. Shams, are they expecting anyone back?
So Darius Garland's missed the last week and a half. It's that same toe that he had surgically repaired in the offseason. My understanding is there is hope that he will make his return to the lineup on Friday in the Cup game against the Indiana Pacers. Think about last season. We saw at least 2 of these guys, between Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. 2 of those 4 were taking the court together. They staggered them in the rotation. They were healthy, and they played a lot. This year, we just have not seen it to that level. And say whatever you want about Darius Garland, he's one of 2 players in the NBA that last season averaged 20 points, 5 assists, 40% three-point shooting. Nikola Jokic and Darius Garland.
Yeah, certainly an important part of the game. I like that nickname, too. Jalen Brunson made his return to the Knicks lineup after missing 2 games with a sprained ankle. So there he is, getting ready to take on the Mavs under attack, but that was the way the referees called it. Ball game over. Knicks win. Here's me and Jalen after the game. 18 hours later, I'm right here. Danny, how you feel about this Knicks team right now?
They look okay, man. They're getting better. They still have some bumps and bruises along the road. OG Anunoby is not there. He would help a lot. But there is one concern that I have, and I talked about it the other night with my co-host Harrison Sanford. It's the defensive end of the floor. If you have 2 guys that are your superstars that you have to take out at the end of the game for offensive, defensive subs in Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, that is not a good sign. Because in the 4th quarter, that's crunch time. You need those guys on the floor. And you have Mitchell Robinson, you have to sub him for defense, who can't make free throws. You're at a disadvantage, and this is a weakness that you need to, this is a concern that you need to fix at some point.
Look, I don't want to sound like a hater, but the new offense that Mike Brown has, he has to find a way to find a balance. Mm-hmm. And when I say a balance, it's like they're turning into a jump shooting team, right? It's too many threes. We saw only a few times where Karl-Anthony Towns was put in position to attack downhill. If it's me, I gotta find a way to get him on that low block. Yeah. Right? Like, Cat is one of the most skilled bigs to ever play the game of basketball. And it's, to me, at times, they're not getting enough post-ups. They're not putting enough pressure on the defense in order to get to the free throw line, right? And slow the game down at times. And Cat is the emotional guy, DG George. He feeds off emotions. When he's playing great, feeling great offensively, you're going to get a better version of him defensively.
Yeah, and the energy you put into him. So, like, he needs that energy not only from the coaching staff, but his teammates. If you don't give energy to Cat, you might lose him.
When I spoke to Mike Brown yesterday, he did say that Cat has the toughest situation in the offense because there's 5 different places where he will have to initiate the actions offensively, and it's not something he's been accustomed to from those particular positions. So it's still a work in progress.
Yeah, he's not Domantas Sabonis, so it's a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, sometimes the coaches got to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. All right. So, look, Brunson caught up recently with our guy, RJ, Richard Jefferson. Here's an excerpt from that interview.
Let's talk about your team, the Knicks. You ready for that? All right, your dad is an assistant coach for the New York Knicks. How does it feel to be a Nepo baby?
Feels great. I'm very fortunate.
Technically, your daddy brought you because he was there.
My dad.
We have it on record that you have used the term daddy chill.
Probably.
Okay, so daddy...
I'm not referring to my father, no.
Who are you referring to when you say daddy chill?
You haven't seen like the actual GIF, the daddy chill GIF?
Daddy chill.
No, this is news to me. Start bench cut. All-time Knick players. Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, J.R. Smith.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing.
What? Why'd you laugh?
In that order.
In that order?
I was waiting for Melo.
What's wrong with Swish?
Nothing's wrong with Swish. I love Swish.
We're gonna stay very general, very friendly. But there has been some basketball rumors floating around, and there's been rumors potentially about Giannis coming to the Knicks. What are your thoughts about playing in Milwaukee?
I plead the fifth.
And honestly, that's the right answer.
Well, considering one of my best friends got traded, but then that best friend comes back and tries to fight me and my dad.
Yeah, he tried to fight you and Daddy.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Dad.
Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling at me? I'm just
call him Daddy. Maybe you call him that, but I don't call him that. I call him Dad.
Daddy.
Dad.
Rick.
Rick.
Did you call him Daddy Rick? Your dad had some PEs, right?
Thank you. My dad. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Okay, can we cut that out?
The orange is the biggest part of the shoe, which is obviously New York. I know you said my brand wasn't big enough. I was myself, and
well,
I
it was more. I'm talking about size, stature, right? Like you've accomplished so much despite your disability. You know. What? Ladies and gentlemen, my new co-host. Am I supposed?
Shoe free agent Steph Curry arrived in Miami wearing a pair of D-Wade Stingrays.
Purple joints.
I see a pattern developing here with his sneaker choices. Steph out for the game, resting his ankle. Bam Adebayo, though, was back. He missed the last 6 games with a toe injury, but he wasn't missing this one against the Warriors. Asia Wilson in attendance. You see her there with Bernie, wearing the Adebayo jersey. No Jimmy Butler against his former team. We start in the second quarter. Bam gets his tough floater and the foul.
Miami, he's been playing some great basketball all across the board. Underrated team in the Eastern Conference.
Norman Powell's a big reason why.
Been lighting it up.
Yep.
I know the Clippers feel some type of way watching him go out there and average.
They sure miss him.
In the fourth, Bam and Norm took over. Here's Norm on the drive, finishes with a contested layup.
Confidence at all-time high.
A minute later, Powell slices in for another tough finish.
Yeah, Clippers definitely miss him.
He had 17 in the fourth alone, 25 for the game. 3.5 to play, Miami up 6. Adebayo.
Bam, shooting a 3.
Straight up.
Shoot it, big dog.
Bam had 20 of his own in this one. He'd get the win. And after the game, Bam and Steph chatting it up. Jimmy Butler, though, not interested in mixing it up with his former team as he heads right
They're not friends
to
anymore.
the locker room. But, of course, Butler left the Heat after making the statements about losing his joy for basketball in Miami. And after the game, Bam showed off his hat in the locker room, the joy dealer. All right, it's time for a culture takeover here as we go in the bonus on the revamped Heat. Miami's averaging over 123 points a night, which is on pace to be the franchise record of over 11 points previous to that. And then they're doing it with a breakneck speed here, recording the fastest pace in the league, and it's the highest pace by any team in the play-by-play era. New additions, Norman Powell. He's been a huge boost, as we mentioned, and we saw there to the Heat's offense.
25, Norman,
Yep.
okay.
Averaging
Norman.
all-star caliber numbers, which is most by any Heat player since LeBron back in 2014. But we all know it starts and ends with Captain Bam Adebayo from Miami. The new offense has unlocked his scoring, and he's posting his best shooting numbers yet and averaging his second most points per game of his career.
Stretch 5 big.
So, Danny, explain to us what's different about the Heat.
They are playing at, as you see, an unbelievable pace. They are playing free. They're playing with controlled chaos. Am I going here or here? Here we go. Let's get to it. Bear with me. This is my second time with the iPad. It's my second time.
Killing it.
Ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got here. So, Perk, I don't know if you remember, but we were very successful in San Antonio. I think you were in OKC at this time.
Yeah, we knocked y'all out a few times.
You did. Got y'all once or twice. But our second unit was so good. Why? Because we played with controlled chaos. We called it .5 basketball, where we didn't know what the hell we're doing, so you guys for sure didn't know what we're doing. So this is what Miami is kind of doing. There is no real offense. Play the clip right now. Who we got going? You bring it up the floor. There is no pin downs. There is no pick and rolls. It's just pause it right here. See what the defense gives you. Buddy Hield is in a shift. This is what a great defensive team does. They show a crowd, they're in shift. This allows guys to attack and make plays. Jaime Jaquez, you see on the wing, he's going right in attack mode. Play the clip. He's not even waiting for a pick and roll offense right here. Drawing two, kick right away. They're not waiting at any moment. They're holding the ball for less than a second and swinging it. Smith swings it to Fontecchio, gets it on, get out of his hands, play it real quick. Fontecchio, pump fake, pause right here. See all the people in the paint. All it takes is drive and kick, you get mismatches. Jaime Jaquez, he makes a pass. He had Khalil Ware on the bottom here, so he also had Jaime Jaquez in the corner. He makes a quick pass, getting 5 guys in the paint. Guess what Jaime does? He doesn't hold it for half a second. Play the clip. Touch pass to the top of the key. Pause here. The guy who starts the play ends up getting the play in a wide open 3 in the corner. This is what Golden State does to everybody else. This is what Steph Curry does to everybody else. Gets everybody to draw into the paint, kicks out, relocates, finds space, and you get a wide open 3-point. They're shooting a lot of threes very willingly. Bam is shooting them at a high clip. Fontecchio, Jaime Jaquez, where they're getting open, uncontested threes because they have so much movement and attacking. Look at the end of the play right here. Fontecchio, wide open corner board, Trey. Cash money.
Perk, what do you think about the Heat?
You know what? I was sleeping on the Heat. I like to apologize. I slept on them. Like, I didn't think they were going to be making this much noise, but, you know, again, I got to highlight Norman Powell. I have to highlight Norman Powell and how the Clippers dropped the ball by letting him, you know, he was involved by trading him away. And what he's been doing right now, especially with Tyler Hero being out, he has basically somewhat become their #1 option.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's doing it consistently. Last year, he averaged a career-high 24 points, was knocking at the door of being an all-star, and now he's embraced this Heat culture. The culture has embraced him, and we're seeing him now having a career year for his points per game.
And, go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
I want to give Spo some love here.
Yeah.
And their bench. They've done an unbelievable job. Those guys, Fontecchio, Jaime Jaquez coming off the bench and giving them a boost. But the freelance pace, the pace that they're playing at, given the encouragement for Bam to shoot threes, you're big, and give them that confidence. They're all playing at a high level. Davion Mitchell can give you something. They've got a lot of guys here giving them a abundance of scoring in a different amount of ways because they're playing with confidence.
Yeah, and look, they had a slower pace the last couple of years because they had Jimmy Butler, right? And that made sense to play that way. We remember that, you know, after they lost to the Mavs in the finals with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, he revolutionized that offense. He changed it completely with LeBron at the 4 and went to pace and space at that time. But another guy who could be helpful for them is Tyler Hero. What do we know about Hero?
Tyler Hero hasn't played yet this season, and this Heat offense is rolling. But I'm told Tyler Hero is likely to make his season debut next week. The Heat played 3 times, so it could be as soon as Monday's game against the Mavericks. They also play Wednesday against the Bucks, Saturday against the Pistons next week. But this offense that's humming, they're moving toward, like Danny described, it's a unique, unorganized, chaotic type of style that's been able to get teams off track. They've gone away from the 2-man activity that Tyler Hero thrived in. But listen, his shooting, his spacing, I know that's something that Heat Nation is ready to have back.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Maybe he plays that Steph Curry role because you were saying they play similarly to the Warriors.
I'd imagine they slow it down a little bit to give him a pick and roll action here and there, but he could be a Steph where he drive and kick and find a lot of space. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him back.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating. All right, there are a few moments around the league that just front office.
Mark Walter has taken control of these Lakers, and they are making some serious front office restructurings and changes. Sources tell me that the Lakers have fired effective immediately 2 minority owners as well as leading basketball executives in Joey and Jesse Buss. Most of the front office scouting department has been fired today. And you think about just going back to when Mark Walter took over, possibly these changes were on the horizon eventually. Jeannie Buss has stayed on as the governor. But Joey and Jesse Buss, interestingly, were the two siblings that voted against the sale of the $10 billion sale of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter. And they have been responsible. They've been at the key center of the Lakers scouting department. Think about players like Austin Reeves, Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma, Julius Randle, on and on and on. And I just spoke to Jesse Buss today, and he told me it was Dr. Buss's idea for Joey and I to run basketball operations one day, but Jeannie has effectively kept herself in place with her siblings fired.
Wow. So breaking news, Shams. Thank you so much. All right, Jared Allen, as we move on here, was robbed last night